Hey there, everybody. Onurubu here. Recording what could potentially and probably be the last episode of Virtue's Last Reward. Last time, longest episode yet in the series. It speaks for itself. I don't want to go over it. But anyway, we just got a shit ton of stuff revealed to us. And we found, most importantly for me, we found out that Sigma, the Sigma we've been playing as the whole time, is actually not who we thought he was. We actually looked old and shit, and not the young guy we thought we were playing as. But yeah, last time we left off, we were back in the past, like while the pandemic was going on, and Zero, or someone in the same identical mask as Zero, appeared right behind us. Now, after that newscaster lady fucking committed suicide on air, now let's see what's actually happening here. I'm so glad to be near the end. I'm so glad to finally learn all the mysteries. I don't know if there's any mysteries left, but this has become one of my favorite games of all time. And it was just so satisfying to learn everything and finally find it out and finally get, concrete answers for everything. And if this is the last episode, I'm just so glad to finally just be concluding this fantastic game. June? Yep. Akane?
It looks like the first step was successful.
It really was. What the fuck? You killed me!
Killed?
I guess technically you're gonna kill me 45 years from now, but still.
Hey, no need to be rude about it. I didn't kill you. I hit you with the butt of the knife. You're fine.
If you believe so, I cannot believe so. What kind of word is that? If you say so, I'll believe you. Cool. If that's what happened, that's fine. But still, you're doing some fucked up shit, you know. You guys are fucking doing some fucked up shit. I mean, I know just like the first game, the shit Akane is pulling off, all in all, just like the first game, the shit she's pulling off is for the good. She's doing something good, objectively. But she's going through fucked up methods to do it, such as kidnapping people, lying to them, making them think their lives are in danger. No, wait, that was the first game where you made us think our lives are in danger. No, in this game you actually killed us many times. No, our lives were actually in danger this game. Many times. Yeah, now that I think about it, in the first game, who died? Ninth man died. We found the captain, who was also one of the Cradle guys, dead. The other Cradle guy was posed as like fucking Snake, but the only time people died were in like the bad endings and shit. None of the other times people died throughout the game. They just didn't. This time our lives are actually in danger. We actually fucking got poisoned and killed and shit. Fuck you. But also I agree with what you did, sort of. It's better to like destroy this pandemic from ever happening. So let's go. I'm okay?
Yes. You and Phi needed to experience a state of crisis. That was the only way.
Cool. I just want to check shit out. So here is headquarters, April 13th, 2029. Nothing there yet. Move this all the way down. Phi ending was here. Cool. Me and Phi?
Yes. I only told you about you, but we also needed Phi to jump.
Okay. Where are we?
Now, you know what happens next, right?
We go to the moon?
Correct. We will be leaving tomorrow, April 14th, 2029. We've nearly finished preparing your shuttle. Only a few last-minute checks and additions. You'll be traveling to Rhizome 9, along with 3 treatment pods.
Alice and Clover, right? And Phi.
Yes.
What about the third one? Who's in there?
Phi.
Yep.
We put her into cold sleep 2 days ago. She appeared at our headquarters and volunteered to be frozen.
Okay, so that's how she shows up here? Okay.
That wasn't the Phi who jumped from point C, though. It was Phi before she jumped from point A to point D.
Okay.
In other words, she was following the same path you are.
Okay.
And she still is.
Then that means that you froze her, the point C version of her jumped back into her body.
Yes. The point C version of Phi is sleeping in that pod. She'll stay there for the next 45 years, sleeping in ice.
Then when she gets to point B, her consciousness will jump to point A, right?
Correct.
Huh, so that's why she didn't look old. So why don't you just stick me in one of those
We
pods?
can't do that.
Why not?
You haven't figured it out?
I haven't invented the shit yet.
You have to spend the next 45 years working on the AB project.
And also finding a cure to fucking Radical 6.
After arriving at Rhizome 9, you must master genetic engineering and artificial intelligence programming, among other disciplines. Otherwise, you will be unable to create Kyle, Luna, and Lagomorph. And, of course, you will need to develop the chromatic doors and the bracelets.
Bro, you're asking a lot of me. You really are. You're asking a shit ton of stuff from
You
me.
will also be the person who summons Tenmyoji and Quark. Once you've completed all the preparations, then the project can actually begin.
Okay, boys, time for the longest Let's Play in human history. I guess we're gonna be doing puzzle rooms of reading for the next 45 years.
January 25th, 2074. You will defrost Phi and carry her to the third AB room. Once you've done that, the 22-year-old version of you from point A will force you out.
And I'll go into his body.
And you'll just go back 45 years to your own body on December 25th, 2028.
And then I change history? Do you really think I can keep the virus from getting out?
You have to. If you don't, billions of people will die.
Look, it's not a matter of whether I want to or not, it's a matter of whether I can or not. Also, why aren't you offering to do any of this shit, huh?
Only you and Phi can save them.
But why? What about you? Aren't you an Esper too?
I can't do anything on my own.
You need Junpei.
If this is going to work, I'll need your help.
Ah. So, what do I need to do?
What do you mean?
Like, what specific actions do I need to take? When Phi and I jump to point A, what are we going to do then?
We'll both enter the Mars mission test site.
And after that?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
I'm sorry.
What? Well, she doesn't know what happened in the Sigma. I nearly called you Junpei. Maybe I did call you Junpei earlier in this episode, now that I think about it. I don't know why. But you don't know what... She doesn't know what happened there. Maybe she does. That'll be a surprise, but, like, that's the thing. We don't know what went down in there. We have to find that out ourselves.
I really don't know anything about what happens in there.
Wait, now that I think about it, we still have that whole arc to work through, so... How long is... If this is the final episode, I don't know how long I'm willing to make it.
We don't know. We don't even know why it was there in the first place.
Don't know how the Radical 6 escaped. Oh crap, then we're
That's why
screwed.
we need your help. You have the ability to jump through time and across parallel worlds. We need you to figure out what happened in that test facility.
I'll do my best.
Things will be difficult.
I'm sure they will be.
And I'm sure you will find yourself in a great deal of danger.
That is literally what has been happening this entire game. Nothing different.
But I believe the two of you can overcome any obstacle.
Wait, how do you know it's so
The
dangerous?
67-year-old version of you told me what happened.
Ah, yikes.
He wasn't able to stop the virus.
Oh no.
So I suppose you could say you told me after you failed.
So we're just gonna keep trying this until it works. What did I
That
say?
the test facility is full of traps. There was one point. A woman's life was in danger. You risked yourself for her sake, and lost your arms and your right eye.
Oh fuck. My arms and my right eye? What the hell? Jesus Christ. That is a terrifying image. That's why I have cybernetic arms in the future. Okay, that's exactly why. Cool. And I'm sure Sigma would have noticed that his... Oh, no, he had that fake eye thing. That's why he never noticed that he was missing an eye. Okay, cool. What the hell? Suddenly a low rumble shook the building. What was that?
Go have a look.
The reactors are exploding. I moved slowly to the window and peered outside. On the horizon I could see a massive mushroom cloud climbing slowly through the sky. Toward the sky. I can't read today, dude. Would we really be able to change the course of history? No, that was the wrong way to look at it. It couldn't be a question. I had to change history. we could save the world and save my arms. I don't fall into whatever trap happened. I don't fall into that and I save my arms and my eye. That's my goal. I'm going to change history. I stared at the darkening skies above us and steeled myself. I would succeed. End or beginning? Fire and ice. Okay. Where the fuck do I go now? Even further back. Infirmary, another time. So wait, let me see. Okay, so this is the AB room past. Cool. This is the normal AB room elevator. Headquarters, end or beginning with Akane. So I now have nothing to do except go down here. Cool. Infirmary, another time. Do you wish to jump? Let's go. Wait, am I not gonna see what happens in the Mars test site? Bruh, what the fuck? I wanna see what happens! I wanna jump back there!
Where?
We finally get a voice for Sigma.
I see you've finally woken up, Kyle.
Oh, Kyle, never mind.
Kyle.
Ah, yes, of course. You've only just woken up in this timeline. It's only natural for some of your memories to be missing.
I'm playing as Kay. I lurched upright, jumped off the bed and ran around to the other side of the partition. The mirror over the sink was covered with a film of dirt. Maybe that's why there was dirt on the mirror, so I couldn't see what I looked like. I wiped it off with my sleeve and my reflection stared back at me. There was no mistake. The reflection belonged to...
Kyle Climb.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm Dr. Climb? Zero Senior's clone?
Yep.
What? How do you know that? Shouldn't you still be suffering from amnesia?
An excellent question, one I didn't quite know the answer to myself. I knew who Kyle Climb was. In another history, he had been called K and had worn a suit of armor. He hadn't just worn the armor in that history though, apparently he'd worn it his whole life. Kyle had been born and raised in this lunar installation which seemed to be called Rhizome 9. Rather late in his life, Akane had appeared as a mother figure and he had consequently grown very attached to her. I knew everything about him, but even though I knew it, I didn't feel it. Was I really Kyle Climb? Nope, I'm Sigma. Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw his face. The spitting image of Sigma Climb in his younger days. I looked down. There was Dio still handcuffed. I turned her back around to Luna.
What day is today?
January 27th, 2074.
And today is the last day of the AB project.
Mm-hmm.
Akane has explained everything in the garden. And she drew a knife and attacked Phi. How long have I been asleep?
About 5 hours in real time. For them, it would have seemed like a little more than 2 hours.
So they still haven't been treated for their Radical 6?
No, they've all been given the antiviral. It just takes a while to have an effect.
Okay.
I see. So the consciousness of the younger Sigma has gone back into the past.
Yep.
It should have happened right after Akane attacked Phi, right?
Yes.
Why am I here?
The doctor carried you back here. You were in the pod in the garden.
So the person you call the doctor is Sigma Klein, as inhabited by his age-appropriate consciousness.
Yes, but how do you know that?
Dio seems to have remained unconscious.
Yes. I've been administering Soparil whenever he gets restless.
What about the others?
Dio is gonna have a fucked up brain by the end of this. His brain is already fucked up enough, but it's gonna be even worse.
They've all gone off to different areas. Tenmyoji and Quark, for instance.
There in the tech.
Right. Mr. Climb.
So the sleepyhead's finally up, huh?
Yep.
What are you two doing here?
You don't know where we are?
This is the upper floor of the pressure exchange chamber. The real one.
Mm-hmm.
We were just about to get dressed and head out.
You plan to return then? To Earth, I mean.
Yeah.
Sigma told us where we could find the shuttle that brought us here. Well, guess he's not really the Sigma I knew anymore. He's Dr. Climb now, or Zero Senior, depending on how you look at it.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Well, I'm just curious why you would choose to return to a devastated planet when you could stay here.
How's staying here gonna help? You aren't gonna say something idiotic about how we should wait here until Sigma changes the past, are you?
If Sigma does change the past, it doesn't change what happens in these timelines. It's just gonna make it so that there is an alternative timeline where this didn't happen.
You can't wait for something that's already happened. Grammar doesn't work that way. Hell, nature doesn't work that way. You following me? We've already lived through history. Sigma failed to keep the virus from getting out. About 45 years ago, Radical 6 created a pandemic, and the antimatter reactors blew up. That all happened.
So we did fail? Okay. So yeah, I guess we actually did fail. Now that I think about it, if we had succeeded, then this wouldn't have happened. But that's only if you don't look at it from a multiple universes point of view. So I don't know. I'm just gonna... Okay, let me just shut the fuck up and let the game say its story without me theorizing.
Whatever Sigma does in the past, history's not gonna change. In fact, it's because of what he did or didn't do in the past that we've got this past and present.
So you're looking at it more of like a Greek point of view, like trying to go against the Oracle's wishes is exactly how you end up doing what the Oracle foretold would happen.
Let me give you an example. Imagine a group of 100 motorcycles driving down an endless freeway. Eventually, they hit a junction. The road splits in two. One freeway continues off northwest, and the other stretches out to the northeast. So one guy, we'll call him S, pipes up. "Let's go northwest," he says. So they take the northwestern road. But about a mile past the intersection, something horrible happens. A semi driving the other way veers into their lane and plows through the bikers. 90 of them die. The surviving 10 are wounded, but survive. They don't stop, though. They keep riding down that highway, and eventually they'd gone 10,000 miles. Then suddenly, something happens that they couldn't have predicted. S, who had survived, suddenly has his consciousness thrown back in time. He ends up back in his own body just before they reach the junction. He remembers everything. So what does S do? What anybody would do. Let's go northeast. That means all 100 of the bikers survive to reach their destination, happy and healthy.
But the bikers in the original timeline don't have their lives changed.
And they all live happily ever after. That's what you're thinking, right? It's a great outcome for the 100 bikers that went northeast. But what about the 10 that went northwest and survived the accident?
Huh? Wouldn't it be 9 people? I mean, S's mind went back in time, right?
Right. Okay, 9 people then.
Nice number, bro.
What happens to the reality they were living?
Still continues.
Does it just disappear when S changes the past? It's not as if it was only bad things that happened during that 10,000-mile trip. Maybe one of them fell in love with a woman working at a gas station they stopped at and had a child. Maybe one of them picked up a homeless kid who joined them on their adventure.
Yeah.
That 10,000-mile journey would be full of stories, friendships, farewells, romances. The loss of those 90 lives is horrible and unfortunate. But what would rewriting their history mean? The 9 who survived lived full lives. How can it be right to just erase all that? The survivors overcame their own misery and loss and made the best they could of the hand they'd been dealt. Isn't that worth something?
I get what you're saying, but I disagree heavily. Just erase that past and live a better one, bro. That's my opinion. Just make it so that the bad thing didn't happen and then live a full life.
Isn't that the best thing that humans can aspire to?
Yeah, in reality, yes. In fiction, in a fictional game which I'm playing where I can actually go back and change the past, hell no.
Is there really any point to a world where everything is happy?
That's not what we're trying to do. We're just trying to create a world where 98% of the population, not 98, what is it? 83% of the population didn't fucking die.
Are people who struggle for a better life just idiots?
No.
Being human is about fighting, even when it seems hopeless, and finding happiness, even in a world that hates it.
Dude, I understand, I agree with you in the real life, but we're trying to stop the deaths of like 6 billion people.
Are you saying that's worthless?
No!
If you're saying rewriting the past will erase all these other timelines, then whatever god wrote those rules can Look, I'm just not going to accept that, alright?
Tenmyoji, look, I've been with you, I've agreed with you the whole time up until now, but not now, dude. I really don't agree with what you're saying.
Get it?
If Sigma changes the past, then you and Quark will never meet.
Is he right?
No, it's not going to happen. We're here right now. This is reality. Even if Sigma does change the past, we're not just going to disappear or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
I think this universe will keep
Then
going.
that means we get to stay together? Good.
Thanks, kid.
I understand how you feel. Why you want to return to Earth is clear. You have lives there, I imagine. There are likely people waiting for you.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Have you already said goodbye to the others?
Bye, Luna, Alice, and Clover all saw us off. We told them we'd see them again someday, and then came here.
They were the only people you want to say goodbye to?
Well, no point saying anything to Dio.
Besides, he's asleep. You were asleep too.
Sorry, but we didn't really know much about you.
You
Uh-huh.
have a point. Akane was in the armor in this timeline, after all. What about Sigma?
Well, he's not really Mr. Sigma anymore.
Of course. He is Dr. Klein now that his consciousness has returned.
And I'm sure he's an asshole.
Yeah, but more importantly, he's the guy who brought us all here.
And made all of you suffer through this shit.
Not a lot of warm feelings there, you know?
And Akane?
I'm sure there's some warm feelings there, Tenmyoji.
Never mind her.
No. Dude, don't do something you're gonna regret.
She's just like him.
If you're certain about that, I won't try to stop you, but if you've been looking for this woman your whole life, and now you have her in your hands, it's your choice. I'm not gonna try to change it, but just make sure you think about
Not
it, my
the
guy.
Akane I knew. She must have seen some pretty awful things over the years. Hell, she might not even be human anymore. But the Akane Kurashiki I know isn't here. She's not anywhere.
In the end, Clover and I were just pawns. Pawns to be used and then gotten rid of. Still, it's not like we were completely resentful. We had to be here to help change the past.
Uh-huh.
That part's easy to understand. But
Kinda sucks, though. I mean, Sigma and Phi have it easy. They get to go back to December 25th in 2028. They'll stop the Radical Six and save the world, and then they'll have a nice, normal future to look forward to. In other words, they get to go back to Point E and just enjoy history like it was supposed to happen.
we don't. We're stuck with Point C as our starting point.
You told us about Tenmyoji's story, right? The one with the motorcycles? It would be like if Alice and I were kidnapped right before the intersection. Then whoever grabbed us takes us to wherever the bikers are going, 10,000 miles to the northwest.
You just missed a large part of what happened.
Don't get us wrong. We know why we had to be here.
You're just not happy about it.
Without us, S's consciousness wouldn't have been able to go back to right before the intersection.
If that couldn't happen, then the fate of those 90 dead bikers would be sealed. But
It's still not the best situation for those of us left in the Northwest. We're stuck in the reality where the 90 bikers died.
are we just supposed to go live on Earth? It's a wasteland now. And what about our friends and families? We left a whole world behind 45 years ago.
What about Snake?
Even if it is for the greater good,
It just doesn't seem fair, does it?
It really doesn't now that you say it, but I'm still glad we're doing it and I still agree with doing it. Like, you gotta come up with some much better reasons to change my mind about why this is all a bad thing.
yeah, it's a little bit much.
So we went and talked to the old lady.
She told us that there is one way.
One way for what?
One way we could get back to the past.
Let's say you do go back to the past. Wouldn't that cause your minds to get thrown back here? That seemed to be how Sigma and Phi's jumps worked, at least.
Yes, you're right.
But this is different.
Different. How so?
From what she said, it sounds like there's a way we can send our bodies back in time too.
Actual time travel? No, look. This game's messed with pseudo time travel since the first game, and like a bit in the first game and heavily in the second game. But actual time travel, you're gonna have to work double duty on some good fucking writing and world building if you want to make that believable.
That's ridiculous. It would create a paradox.
Yep.
How could you have 2 Clovers and 2 Alices at the same time?
But that wouldn't happen.
Akane says there's a way around that.
How on earth does she plan to do that?
Schrodinger's?
Cat. Ow.
Oh, hey, Kyle. Figured
Hi.
you'd come here eventually.
Where's Dr. Klein? Luna said you were with him.
He said he was tired, so he's off resting right now. There's a bedroom at the end of the hallway. He's in there if you're curious. Oh, right. He told me to turn on this hologram projector thing when you showed up. Want me to start it?
Yep, let's go.
Sure.
Glad to see you. There isn't anything in particular that I have to tell you. However, I imagine there are a great number of things weighing on your mind. I'd love to answer all your questions, but unfortunately, my circumstances make that an impossibility. I hope you can forgive me. Everything I know, Phi should also know. I have instructed her to answer any questions anyone might have. Anyone other than Kyle, that is.
What does he mean, other than Kyle?
There's some stuff we mustn't know.
Who knows? Is there anything you want to ask?
Right, well, I guess I may as well cut to the chase. Just who are you, Phi?
I'm not Superman, that's for sure.
I didn't ask who you were not. I asked who you were.
And I'm not Batman or Spider-Man or Aquaman or a merman or a wolfman.
Look, let's go to page 16 in this fucking thing. Mystery of Phi. So who was Phi? There are very few clues scattered throughout the story, but nothing conclusive. Perhaps the truth will be revealed at the Nevada test site. Dude, the fucking this game better not be a fucking sequel hook. I swear to God, if this game's a sequel hook, I'll lose my mind. Zero Time Dilemma better not be the story of what the fuck happens in the Nevada test site. I swear to fucking God. I swear if this game ends right now, I'll be so pissed off. Well, depending on how they end it. And they tell us, want to know what happened in the Nevada test site? Play Zero Time Dilemma. No, fuck you. Fuck you. Don't pull that shit. I'm seeing it coming. Maybe it's gonna happen. Do not pull that shit.
I'm not a Brahmin or common or ramen.
Please don't dodge the question.
Not a Cayman either, so you don't need to worry about anything.
About 5 hours ago, Akane attacked you with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
That triggered something which sent your mind back to the past, correct?
Yes.
Specifically, you were sent to Point D, April 13th, 2029.
Yes.
On that date, your body was already in Akane's custody.
Uh-huh.
Although by then you were in cold sleep. You wouldn't have regained consciousness, but your mind was now inhabiting that body. That pod was your home for 45 years. You slept there, frozen, until the time was right. Then on January 25th, 2074, you were finally thawed out, even though you didn't wake up. Still unconscious, you were carried to the AB room. That was when your consciousness changed bodies again. A version of you from December 25th, 2028 arrived, pushing you out and sending you back to December 25th, 2028. This is when you finally woke up. In 2028, you found and joined forces with Sigma, whose older mind was inhabiting his younger body. Together, you attempted to infiltrate the Mars mission test facility. Unfortunately, your plan failed. The Radical Six did escape on New Year's Eve. That failure determined the path you followed. Instead of going along the line that branches out to the right from Point E, you headed straight to Point D. Point D being April 13th of the following year. That was the day that you made your way to Akane's hideout and asked to be put into one of the treatment pods. Another consciousness enters your body around that time from the future. It is, of course, the version of you that left your body when Akane attacked you in the garden. This caused the two versions of you to swap places.
So who are you now?
You moved 45 years into the future, where you woke up on the garden floor.
So who are you now?
That put you on the line that comes here. So if we discount the time you spent in cold sleep, for you only 3.5 months have passed since that happened. That being when you were sent back into the past from the garden. Have I missed anything?
No, everything you talked about you got right.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I'm kind of an unknown variable in this equation. You could think of me as a kind of X factor.
What the fuck does that mean?
It's taken me the last 3.5 months to understand it.
And I haven't understood anything in the last 3.5 seconds.
Nice one.
Could you please explain?
It's kind of like the relationship between classical mechanics and modern physics. Strictly speaking, you can't combine velocities with v1 plus v2.
Yeah.
v1 plus v2 divided by 1 plus v1 times v2 over c squared is the actual equation. Of course, the sort of velocities we encounter in day-to-day life don't come close to being c squared, which is the speed of light squared. That means that 1 plus v1 times v2 divided by c squared is usually going to evaluate to something pretty close to 1.
So we can actually use v1 plus v2 usually when we're working with day-to-day velocities, because it'll be over 1, which means it won't change that much.
Since that would mean dividing by 1, it's usually okay to just skip that step and use v1 plus v2. You see what I'm saying? In most situations, it works, even if it isn't technically correct.
Yeah, I mean, it's like in applied maths. You can usually round off pi to 3 even in like applied math situations. As long as it gets you to the correct conclusion, people don't really care about if it's correct or not.
So you knew enough to get the stuff you were talking about right. As long as you stick to that, you won't run into any problems.
I don't quite understand. In fact, I feel like you're dodging my questions.
So is that what you wanted to ask about?
I am so confused.
No. What I really want to know is what happened between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028. You and Sigma infiltrated the Mars mission test site, didn't you?
Yes.
What happened there? How did Sigma lose his eye and both his arms?
You'll find out about that in the next game.
And why was Radical 6 in there in the first place? What could a deadly virus have to do with the simulated mission to space?
Sorry, but I can't tell you that.
Why not?
Why?
Because it would change history.
How?
There is a history where the virus didn't escape.
So you succeeded?
That's the line that goes to the right of point E.
Okay.
In that timeline, humanity isn't heading for annihilation, and Earth isn't red. The future is much brighter.
Literally.
But if I tell you what you're asking me right now,
that doesn't happen.
then that reality will disappear.
Why?
You understand?
I don't.
Schrodinger's cat. Schrodinger's cat. It's all Schrodinger's cat. It's all Schrodinger's cat. Maybe. Maybe I'm wrong. If we actually learn why they failed in that site, that history, and it becomes definitive that they failed and how it happened, the history where humanity was saved doesn't fucking exist at all. They definitely failed. That's what happened. That's it. But if they never reveal what actually went down in that fucking test facility, then it's like the possibility, just like Schrodinger's cat, if they could have succeeded. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. We don't know. But still, bro, look, this game is seemingly going towards a very unsatisfying ending. Maybe they'll save it, but look, I was really looking forward to just stopping this whole thing. I was really looking forward to just going back in time and making sure that everything is stopped and we save the world. But it seems like that's not where they're heading. They're just gonna end it like, you have to accept that we're just never gonna know what's gonna happen, and this is the world we live in. And I'm gonna be like, thank you for the great game, but now I'm disappointed, and it's gonna ruin my view of the game a bit in my eyes. Like, you just need to stick the landing, my guy. Just stick the landing.
Why would all of that disappear if you told me what I want to know?
It's just knowing what actually
We're about
happened.
to go back to the past, right?
The past? Don't be silly. I can't do that.
Then where the hell did you learn all this stuff? I just listened to you tell me a bunch of things you shouldn't have known about. You were sleeping in the pod in the garden. You just woke up. So how can you know all this? You know my past. Sigma's past.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't
I
Schrodinger's
shall
cat.
give you your answer.
Hello, creepy ass Akane.
You are not Kyle Klein.
I thought not, dude. I thought we wouldn't just be randomly playing another fucking character right now. I thought we'd be Sigma, like properly. Maybe fucking Sigma never even cloned himself. Maybe Kyle was just him as a child and like the whole time. I don't fucking know. But I thought we weren't Kyle.
Your body is Kyle's, but your
Oh,
consciousness
okay, never mind,
is
never mind.
not.
Never mind. So where the fuck is Kyle?
Think about it. Do you really believe you are Kyle?
No.
Or could you be someone else entirely?
I am Sigma.
Then, where is the real Kyle's consciousness?
He was thrown out when you entered.
But where is he?
Right now, in a manner of speaking,
Okay.
he has arrived at December 25th, 2028. His consciousness has gone into a body from that time. I doubt you know how much the doctor loves Kyle. He raised him on his own. Kyle is irreplaceable. Do you really think he would go back to the past and leave Kyle behind here? I know what I told the others, that Kyle was Dr. Climb's spare, but that was not his only purpose. Kyle's consciousness is integral to what we are trying to accomplish. This new mission begins on Christmas and ends on New Year's Eve 2028.
Zero time dilemma. Cool. That's what we're doing in the third
Its
game.
purpose will be to infiltrate the test facility and prevent the spread of the virus. For this to happen, Kyle is absolutely necessary.
And that is why he created him?
Yes.
So now that my consciousness has entered his body, the doctor has achieved his objective. Kyle has gone back to 2028 to participate in his mission.
Correct.
There's one thing that troubles me. Kyle was created before reaching point B from point D. That means his body did not exist on Christmas in 2028. Does that mean he has entered my body? Have we just switched places?
I suppose you could put it that way, yes.
Then who the fuck am I? Am I Sigma?
That's ridiculous. What's going to happen to me? You telling me I have to spend the rest of my life here in this box, living in a borrowed body?
No, not at all.
I'm gonna go into the past now.
You can travel freely through time and space. You are an uncontrolled variable that entered our closed system. As such, the rules of this world do not apply to you.
Who am I?
I have no idea what...
Please don't try to play dumb. I know what you are.
Are you talking to me, the player? Is that what's happening?
Surely you must know by now, too.
Who are you talking to?
You are about to go into the past and save the world.
Okay.
Phi and Sigma, even with all of his future knowledge, will need your help. Only you can right the horrible wrongs of our past. Only you can save the world.
Who am I?
There's no way I...
Yes, there is. You have to. Don't you want to know the truth? Don't you want to know what happened in between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028?
Yes, I really do. But I don't think I'm gonna get the answers in this game.
Well, yes, I do, but...
Then you must believe.
Okay, I'll believe you. Cool, let's go.
Reality is shaped by what we believe reality should be. If observation can change the motion of a particle, then how is it odd to think that human thought can shape reality? Your will can change history.
I believe you.
The world will be reshaped into the one you imagine.
Where am I going, my guy? And I can't believe this fucking garden puzzle room that was one of the first ones
Remember what I've told
It's
you.
literally the second puzzle room I did. No, the third, if you count the elevator. And it ended up being such an important fucking location.
Only you can change history.
Only me.
Only you can save the world.
Okay, cool. Cool. That's great. Alternative, semicolon, end. Yes, overwrite the save. Another time end. Where the fuck am I? Is the game over? Is that the end of the game? Is that really the end of the game? This is just the beginning of the game, my guy. So is that really how this game fucking ends? Bro, can I not... Is there not an option for me to fucking go somewhere? Sorry, I just needed to pause the recording for a second just to get my thoughts straight, and I don't know, just I literally had to look up. I had to go online to Google and look up whether I had finished the game or not. And it turns out I have. There's nothing more to do. That was the end of the game. I'm right. Whoever we are, whoever's body, I can't speak, bro. What the fuck? It's just because of my emotions right now. Whoever we are, whoever's body, whoever we are borrowing Kyle's body, we're not gonna find that out. We don't know what's gonna happen on the Mars test site. All that shit. It's all left for the third game. Zero time dilemma. I can't speak, dude. I don't know how to feel about that. You know, going into this episode, I was actually planning on, immediately after I finished recording this episode, I was planning on starting Zero Time Dilemma immediately. I was that hype about it. And now I definitely want to do that, because I own the game, and it's just like, I want to know what happened, you know? I really need to know now. I mean, they've created very good hype in getting me sufficiently excited to, you know, play the next game, but it's at the cost of giving this game quite a lackluster ending, honestly, I must say. As I kept saying throughout this whole game, this game was going on its way to becoming one of my favorite games of all time. I was loving every single moment, even up until the end of the last episode. I was fully hooked. They lost me a bit near the end, like, of the last few episodes. Like, I just was, like, taking stuff in, and, like, I was getting a bit... As the mystery was being revealed, and as, like, a lot of stuff became revealed, it just ended up being like, yeah, cool, okay, I guess that was correct, cool, got it, cool. And it just, like, it's almost as if, like, the mystery was more fun to try and solve than actually solving it. And now that we've actually solved it, we don't get any definitive conclusion. It's just like this game was fucking fantastic while I was playing it, but now that it's over, I'm like, it's like, was that it? 999 was its own game. 999 started and ended fucking conclusively. It was just fantastic. 999 started and ended, and that was it. It was a self-contained game. It was fucking fantastic. Now Virtue's Last Reward, I assumed it was going to carry some stuff over from 999, and I was right, it carried some characters and stuff over, but I still assumed it would be its own game, self-contained, that would get its own conclusion, but it didn't. It just didn't. And I find that extremely disappointing. I'm sorry. I am a bit disappointed. Okay, now let me just give my thoughts on this game. I fucking loved it from start to right near the end. I loved it so much. And at the end, it dropped the ball hard for me. Yeah, it really did. It was a really disappointing ending. I didn't need to even see what happened in the Mars test site. It's just like the ending itself. By ending, I mean the ending, like the way it just ended, like a couple minutes ago. It brought up the saves. Akane said you'll find that out in some time. Brought up the save screen. I saved, and then it kicked me back to the main menu. I'm like, okay, cool. I guess that's the end of the game. And I guess the credits at the end of Phi's ending were the true end, and this was more like an epilogue. And I looked it up, so that was like that. The thing with young Akane was an epilogue, and the thing I just experienced here, you only get this if you get every single gold file, and it's more like an extra ending. So it's not really the true ending, and that the true ending is actually, you know, like the true ending of the game is here with Phi's ending. This is the true ending. But still, you know, I still gotta say, I love this game. I love the story. I still do. I don't have anything against the story. It's just the way they ended it. Felt a bit inconclusive. If they actually ended the story here, I would have no complaints. Like, but yeah, the twists, the time travel shit, that was perfect. Like the purpose of the game, I loved that. The AB project, I loved it. Finding out you're actually old Sigma climb, that was perfect. But yeah. Whew, I guess this is the end of Virtue's Last Reward, and I'm very sad to have to say it that way. Because, like, when 999 ended, I was like, oh, that was the end of 999. Hell yes, my guy. Hell fucking yes. Now I'm just like, I guess that was the end of the game. I don't fucking know. I guess it's the end. I guess I'll see you guys soon with Zero Time Dilemma, I guess. I need to play it now. I mean, I've been looking forward to playing it for months now. Like, I don't know, I've just been looking forward to playing it, and I'll be picking it up very soon now. Maybe immediately after I end this video, I'll start playing it. It's installed. Because I want to know. I want to start the story, and I want to end the story. I want to just finish this. I just want to know what happens in this game series. I love 999. I was loving Virtue's Last Reward even more until right near the end. And let's see how I feel about Zero Time Dilemma. But yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. Don't get me wrong, I still love this game. Just the ending just pissed me off a bit, but don't get me wrong, I still love this game. It was still a fucking great journey to go on with all you guys. All 8 of you. 8. I'm being a little generous there, aren't I? But yeah. And yeah, I just have to live with the fact that the ending to this game was basically just a sequel hook. But yeah. Everybody, for the final time for this series, which... It's not my longest series. My first ever series, Danganronpa V3, was my longest ever series, but this one certainly felt to me like my longest series ever. Just because of what's happened during my life as I've been recording this, and also it's just this thing just I don't know how to explain it better. It just feels like a substantial thing. Like recording this was just a very big difference in how I was living up until here. I don't know. I'm just rambling, but. This is like, to me, this ending this series just feels like opening up a new chapter for my channel in some way. I don't know how to explain why I feel like that, but I feel like it. Well, guys, thank you very, very much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Usually, when I end a game, I say for whatever I'm playing or if I have a plan. But yeah, anyway, I'll see you all next time for most possibly like 99% certainty, Zero Time Dilemma. Bye.